Anambra is no doubt one of the states in Nigeria experiencing incessant and very high rates of kidnapping that in some cases do lead to the death of the abducted victims and killing of security operatives and some other persons around the scene of the mostly monetary crimes of hostage-taking for a ransom. Specifically, our crime reporters gathered that there is hardly no week without 1 or 2 persons being kidnapped along the Onitsha-Owerri Federal Road in Anambra State, especially between Oba community and Ihiala town, as we gathered that most victims of kidnapping in the state are hard-working small and medium-sized business owners most of whom struggled out of poverty to become wealthy successful traders. This, we learnt, there may be no wealthy successful business owner along the Ihiala-Orlu road left to be kidnapped or forced to pay ransom to the kidnappers, while in Oba, wealthy people are being kidnapped quietly and ransom in millions are paid in silence to the kidnappers. According to members of the community, a young successful businessman was kidnapped recently at a location between the Oba-Nnewi Road and Old Road junctions shortly after he visited his building construction site. While we also learned that some people in the state do report or contract their friends to kidnappers just to get a share from the ransom that will be paid afterwards, or when such people have issue or dispute with their friends or co-traders. It may interest you to know that the Anambra State Police Command recently arrested a 24-year-old male suspect, Muanaenye Victor, for allegedly luring his friend to be kidnapped by his criminal gang in Uli, Ihiala local government area of the state, and they reportedly collected a ransom in dollars equivalent to 5.3 million nairas with his gang members, just as gunmen in a not too long distance time abducted a lawyer and 2 other persons in Nkpologwu, Aguata local government area of Anambra, in addition to previous cases of kidnapping of the owner of the Porsche Club, Chief Ebere Orji, by unknown gunmen after the gunmen killed numbers of persons along the new Oba-Nnewi road in Idemili South Local government area of Anambra State, with the number of those killed at the Porsche Nightclub said to be 7, but 1 of the security operatives was beheaded, and another had his foot cut off and made away with by the invading deadly kidnappers. This occurred shortly after a well-known native doctor or witch doctor, Chidozie Nwangwu a.k.a. Akwa Okuko Tiwaraki, was kidnapped, after his 2 personal aides killed in the vicinity of his hotel at Oba community before the kidnappers effortlessly took him away and was released after ransom in millions were reportedly paid. That not all, on May 21, 2022, shortly after Professor Chukwuma Soludo was sworn in as governor, gunmen abducted the lawmaker representing Aguata 2 constituency in the State House of Assembly, Okechukwu Okoye, also known as Okidioke, represented Soludo's state constituency. Isuofia Okoye was killed and beheaded alongside his aide, Cyril Chiegboka, 6 days after they were abducted along Agulazigbo Road, Anaoka local government area of the state, and their heads and bodies dumped along a roadside in the state. And in December 2024, another lawmaker in the State House of Assembly was killed. Ghana Minister of Defense, Edward Omain Boma, alongside 7 other top government officials and military personnel, have been confirmed dead, after Ghana Armed Forces in a statement on Wednesday had declared the Z-9 military helicopter missing, stating, the helicopter traveling from the nation capital in Accra to Obuasi in Ashanti region went off from radar at 9:12 a.m. with 3 crew members and 5 passengers on board. Others killed in the helicopter crash, as confirmed by the Office of the President of Ghana, include Dr. Alhaji Murtala Muhammad, MP for Tamale Central, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Alhaji Munaru Muhammad, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator, Dr. Samuel Sarpong, Vice Chairman of the NDC, Samuel Aboagye, former parliamentary candidate, Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, Flying Officer Twumampadu, and Sergeant Ernest Ado Mensah. It was gathered that the military helicopter went down at Adansi Akrofam in the Ashanti region on Wednesday, for yet to be stated cause of the incident, as video footage showed the burnt beyond recognition bodies of those on board the aircraft. The aircraft was from Accra and heading for Obuasi and is currently off the radar. All efforts are being made to establish contact, the Ghana Armed Forces had stated in a statement earlier on Wednesday. The government of Ghana has directed that all national flags be flown at half-mast in honor of the late government top officials, Edward Omain Boma, Minister for Defense, and Ibrahim Matala Mohammed, Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, among others who died in the military helicopter crash. According to local media, the fatal incident occurred on Wednesday, August 6, in the Adansi-Akrofuom district of the Ashanti region while the two ministers, along with 6 others, were en route to Obuasi for official duties. Announcing the directive, Chief of Staff Julius Debra expressed the government's deep sorrow regarding the loss of the 2 senior public officials and others on board the helicopter. The president is emotionally down. The vice president is leading a team to formally inform the families. Education Minister Haruna Idrisu told news reporters following the tragic helicopter crash that claimed the lives of top government officials including the defense and environment ministers. While announcing the death of all passengers and crew members on board, the Ghana Chief of Staff, Julius Debra said, on behalf of the President of the Republic, His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Apoku Agumang, who is with us here, and the government of Ghana, I have the unpleasant duty, sadly, to announce a national tragedy involving the crash of a military helicopter this morning around the Adansi area in the Ashanti region. Government regrets to announce the demise of the following persons in the tragic crash. Dr. Edward Kofi Omain Boma, Minister for Defense. Al-Haji, Dr. Ibrahim Matala Mohammed, MP, Minister for Environment, Science and Technology. Al-Haji Munaru Mohammed, Acting Deputy National Security Coordinator and former Minister for Food and Agriculture. Dr. Samuel Sarpong, Vice Chairman of the National Democratic Anambra State Government under the leadership of Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo has said that the state is currently in search of justice over the killing of a young and creative fish farmer, Martin Zafesinachi Onyekesi, well known by his business name as Fish Magnet, who was reportedly shot on the leg while being kidnapped on Sunday the 27th of July 2025, at his residence in Ezinifite village, Okpuno in Awka, the Anambra State capital. This, Dr. George Moghalu, the Labour Party candidate in the forthcoming governorship election in the state, said that Anambra State is no longer safe, adding that people are being killed, slaughtered for their families to bury in silence while the state governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, looks the other way, with no sympathy, condolence visit or statement. Specifically, Moghalu said, I must speak frankly, Anambra is no longer safe, not even in the state capital. Our people are being slaughtered, kidnapped, and buried in silence while the government looks the other way. This is not leadership, it is abandonment. Just recently, we lost over 10 lives in a ghastly accident at Onitsha-Owerri South Local government area, yet there was no statement, no condolence, not even a visit from the state government. Instead, we see street renamings and political endorsement rallies. Where is our conscience? Moghalu stated while the former lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu, the detained Biafra agitation leader, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, said the people of the state are currently romancing with crimes, hiding criminals, and painting absurd narratives on social media to glorify and justify the rising crimes in the state, saying, the most frightening part, the reckless energy our own people expend defending these killers. When you shield murderers because they are your kinsmen, you embolden them. When you justify kidnappings under the guise of ethnic pride, you leave the gates wide open for the real external aggressors, like armed herdsmen, whose invasion will come when we are weakest and most divided. Anambra State Commissioner for Information, Law Mefa, made the government position known on Sunday after he led other government officials on a condolence visit to the bereaved mother of the victim, who happened to be the woman leader of the Anambra State All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, Mrs. Esther Onyekesi. According to Punch newspaper, Onyekere, a son of the woman leader of the Anambra State All Progressives Grand Alliance, was abducted by gunmen at his residence in Ezinifite community, Okpuno, Awka South Local government area of Anambra State, in a late-night attack on Saturday, July 26, and was subsequently killed. In a press statement released on Sunday, the State Commissioner for Information, Law Mefa, sympathized with the deceased's family, assuring them that the state government is in search of justice while sustaining and strengthening security in the state. Mefa, who maintained that such a development is an affront to the Professor Chukwuma Soludo government's new security architecture, also expressed delight that the police are on the heels of the perpetrators. The commissioner was quoted as having stated this when he paid a condolence visit to the woman leader of the Anambra State APGA, Esther Onyekesi, according to the statement. The statement read in part, the Anambra State Commissioner
bringing you the news in a more digital way.